Hey friends, so today I actually have something to talk about. So today, as I'm kind of shuffling around, something actually came to my mind that I wanted to discuss and talk about with you, get your take on. But before I do that, a couple of things that have come up.
Oh, talk to me, good buddy.
Everything with our house is going full speed ahead. It looks like the first of the month we will be taking possession, and it is my goal to have a regular cycle of videos coming at you during the first so many days. I have a goal. I'm not going to vocalize the goal because I don't want to jinx myself and look like an idiot. So I will just look like an idiot right now. So what do I have to talk about today? Well, here it is. Often in life, we run into situations where we have to decide where things fit, and we have to decide our commitment to things. Quite frankly, are we committed to these things, or are we interested in these things? It's really a matter of interest versus commitment. And that's something that I think a lot of people really struggle with, including myself. I'm interested in a million things, and I'm only committed to a fraction of those million things.
Okie dokie, no problemo.
For example, my kids. Okay, so I've got 4 kids. 2, 22 and 18, older kids, some would say adult children. I don't know that I would go so far, but they're certainly older than toddlers. And I have 2 toddlers, a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And so I would call them both toddlers, and they need different attention and different I have to do things differently with them, and I have to take care of them differently than I do the older 2. But they both require my attention. They both require my being involved, and as a parent, I am committed to doing whatever it takes. I'm not just interested in their lives. I'm committed to making sure that they're taken care of and they have what they need, regardless of whatever circumstance, where I live, where they live, regardless of any of that. It's a commitment thing. I'm committed to my wife. I'm committed to our relationship. Like every relationship, things aren't perfect. We disagree, we argue about things, we don't always see 100% eye to eye on everything or every issue, or how to handle every situation. That's just the way it is. But regardless of that, it's not like I'm just I'm here for the time being. I'm committed to the relationship, and so I go forward with a high level of commitment, and I think about the things that I'm going to do with regard to my level of commitment or my level of interest. I've always been interested in having an antique shop, and I've always like a junk shop, like where I can sell antiques and knickknacks and artwork and things. And my wife and I looked at, basically recently, we looked at, instead of getting the studio space and instead of getting the space where we're doing retail stuff through right now, we debated on, sorry if you can hear the windshield wipers, it's kind of rainy out, so my windshield wipers are intermittently coming on, so I apologize if that's if you can hear it, but I don't think you can, but you might. Anyway, I digress.
Classic.
But we thought about getting rid of the 2 spaces for one larger space and almost doubling what we would be paying to have complete autonomy over the selling, the space, the layout, and the fabrication and everything. So everything would be done in-house, one shop. I could do furniture, I could do whatever, how much space I want. I could do everything right there with nearly 2,000 square feet of space. And basically decided not to do that because of my commitment level, my interest level. I'm interested in it, but I'm not so interested in it that I want to have office hours. I'm not so committed to it that I'm going to give up my freedom. There's a dog looking at me. So again, I'm not so interested in it that I am going to, I'm willing to give up the things that I want to do around the Burger Acres. I'm not so interested in it that I want to give up time doing other things or going down other avenues. I would much rather drive out to the antique mall, put some things on a shelf, dust it off, do my little cleaning routine in my 7-foot by 8-foot cubicle and leave and let somebody else sit there to sell it and basically manage all of that. You know, I've made some pretty good money over the past couple of weeks, just passively, and that's kind of where my interest level is. I'm about that interested in it. I'm interested in putting stuff on a shelf. I'm interested in finding things. I'm interested in flipping things. I'm interested in the collection and the potential that it has. But I'm not so interested or committed to it that I'm willing to give up other things. And it's that way with so many components of life. And art, I think that's really true. You know, as artists, there are people that are interested in art. And so they might pick up a pencil, they might draw, they might do a little of this or a little bit of that. And there are others that are so committed to it that it's like everything about them is their art. And I would say that I'm very committed to my art. I'm committed to what I want to do, but I'm more committed to my kids than I am to my art. Because at the end of the day, if I need to stay home with my kids, I stay home with my kids. If I need to go drive 1,000 miles for my kids, then I drive 1,000 miles for my kids. It's not because I would rather do that than sit in my studio making art all day. If I have the opportunity to make art all day, I'll take it. But not at the expense of something that I'm even more committed to. And I think that a lot of times people get so stretched so thin, people like myself, because you're interested in a million different things and you put more of an emphasis on it than it needs to.
Why? Why? I don't know why. I don't know.
The point is, I think you have to be a little bit more in tune and analytical and thoughtful about where you put your energy. You know, I put a lot of energy into the art that I make, but I also put a lot of energy into my kids and my family, because they're at the top of my, it's not just an interest, it's a commitment. And when I was a teacher, I was really committed to being the best teacher I could be, like to the detriment of lots of other things around me. And I don't know if that's good or bad, because I've seen teachers that were equally committed as I was, and it's difficult. It's a strain on relationships, it's a strain on families, it's a strain on friendships, it's a strain on social things, it's a strain on all other aspects of your life, because you're so zeroed in on that commitment. And some people would call that being a workaholic, and I would definitely classify myself as a workaholic when I was in the teaching profession full time. And now it has evolved or devolved into more of an interest. Like, it's something that I'm interested in, it's something that I care about, but it's not something that I'm going to wrap up 100% of my time and energy into, to the point where opportunities have come up that I've passed on because, well, is that really how I want to use my time?
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
You know, but again, to the point, you have to make decisions on where you're interested and where you're committed. And no one can do it for you. I want to be able to make Burger Acres a great property for myself, for my family, but also for future generations that are going to be there, and doing things. And whether that's my family or somebody else's family, I want it to be able to be the best that it can be in making, and improving it. So if I had any words of advice for any of the folks that are listening or watching or thinking or going down a path where you're weighing your time and your energy and your focus, think about that. What are you committed to, and what are you interested in? If you're committed to it, commit yourself. Jump in. Don't half-ass it. Commit yourself. Be really, really committed to it. And if you're interested in it, then be interested. But don't let it consume all of your time. Don't let it consume all of your energy. Don't let the things that you're interested in dictate the things that you're really, really passionate about, that you really want to be committed to. Because there's only 24 hours in a day. And if you let your interests have 75% of your time that you're awake, then that only leaves, obviously, 25% to the things that really, really, really matter. So you need to reorganize. Just a little tidbit from me to you. Hope you all have a great day. And make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, get involved. I'd love to hear from you. Again, this is the art and all of that is something I'm committed to. I'm interested in it, but I'm committed to it. And hopefully now we can have a legitimate discourse if you also have a level of commitment to that as well. So we'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day.